One-on-one interviews with guys is something I do all the time, and it's something I take a lot of pride in, and I was jacked for it. And when you get to interview one of the best Americans to ever play hockey, I relish the fact that I got to go first, because I get to set the bar. And the door opens, and it's a pitch black room with a light on the devil in the blue dress sitting at the table.
Teddy, what's up? Welcome to your one-on-one interview assignment.
Thanks, Jackie. It's kind of odd in here.
Yes, we have Jeremy Roenick on the phone.
It's a phone interview.
So I'm gonna get up, you're gonna take my seat. You have 30 seconds to establish with him, introduce yourself, say what's up.
Yep.
When your 5 minutes is up, you are cut right off, interview's over, whether you've said bye to him or not, okay?
Sure.
You understand?
I do.
All right, good luck.
It's, it's disheartening. You're like, wow, I was really gonna meet Jeremy Roenick, and now I'm not.
Wow, this changes everything. This changes everything.
But then I'm like, sweet. Now I'm even more in my element because I do phone interviews all the time.
Jeremy, you there?
I'm here.
Oh, how are you, Jerry?
I'm great. How are
Can
you?
you turn him down a bit?
I can't say, welcome back to the show. Oh, great, I'll make it a podcast.
Welcome back to the Get Your Start podcast here on Sportsnet 360 Radio, brought to you by the Gillette Fusion Pro Glide Razor. I'm Teddy Jenner, joined on the phone now by one of the NHL's all-time greatest Americans, Jeremy Roenick. Jeremy, how are you?
I am wonderful. How are you doing today?
I'm absolutely fantastic. So let's jump right into it. We're talking getting your start, and it's going to start your start in hockey. 4 years old, one of your schoolboy friends' parents convinced your parents to get you into hockey. Now, obviously, it worked out for you in the end, but was there ever a time when you were growing up and you were thinking, man, I really wish I was doing something else with my life?
Never. I loved hockey from the minute that I stepped on the ice. It was love at first play.
I know I nailed that one. That was my best competition challenge in this whole thing today.
Were you a big deal at 14 years old that you could fly from one state to the next?
Yeah, it was one of those things where I was very popular.
I absolutely nailed it, except I needed 2 more minutes.
Jeremy, we got to let you go. Thanks for joining us here on the podcast. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
You got it, my friend. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Jeremy.
So I walk in the room, and it's a phone, Jackie Redmond, and I'm like, what in the world? You played for 5 teams in 18 seasons, and I have to know, first off the top, what was your favorite jersey to wear?
Well, I think the first team that you ever play for, the team that drafts you, the Chicago Blackhawks, are near and dear to my heart.
I'm not your buddy, but I'm someone that is gonna give you open-ended questions to let you speak on the matter. To me, you made it a mission to connect with the fans.
I mean, I always made it a mission to connect with the fans. I think hopefully in the near future, if I get into management, that will make the team even more fan-friendly.
You want to get into management?
I think one day it's going to be in my future. I've gotten into broadcasting. I've enjoyed that, but you can't do that forever. You got to look for bigger and better things.
I'm like, there. Oh, gotcha. Oh, I'm going to put this on TMZ. I want to work for Sportsnet 360 and be the hilarious fun guy. Excellent. Jeremy, thank you for your time.
You got it. Thank you.
Take care.
Andrew Corey, what's up? I saw you looking around the room a little bit stunned. I'm gonna explain to you what's going on, okay? All right, we have Jeremy Roenick on the line.
My heart dropped for a bit because as a sportscaster and as a fan, I really wanted to meet the guy. And my personality, I know would have been better if we were one-on-one in person.
As a child, you had a unique encounter with Gordie Howe. Describe that encounter and how it affected you personally and how you relate to fans.
Well, I think everybody has a time in their life where somebody has made an impact on them. Gordie Howe, when I was 7 years old, took the time while he was on the ice to dump a whole bunch of snow all over my head and give me a wink and say hi, kid. And there was a whole slew of kids hanging on the glass, but for some reason he chose me. He didn't have to do that, but I remember what an impact that it made on that day, on my life, on the way that I look at the game of hockey. And then when I got to the National Hockey League, to try to make that impact and make as many kids feel the way that I felt at 7 years old, and still today at 43, I still tell the story.
That's neat. Thank you. Now, speaking of coming into the league, when you were drafted in '88 by the Blackhawks, who were you then?
I don't really care about what you do. I don't care if you're a doctor or a lawyer. I want to know who you are, at your core, what makes you tick.
I was a 158-pound, snot-nosed, cocky little kid that didn't understand much about the game. It's a job, it's a war, and it is extremely, extremely difficult on a day in and day out basis. And at 158 pounds, I had to learn to fend for myself really quickly.
Right. I had no regrets about that interview, and I felt as though for my first time, I put my best foot forward.
Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks for your time.
It was my time to go up. I picked Negreanu. I wanted to be the first one to get at him. And I walk in and I look around. He's not there.
No, he's not. Here's the deal. I have him on the phone right now.
He's not there anymore, so you gotta roll. And then the earpiece goes in my head and I'm speaking to Daniel Negreanu.
Daniel, what's up?
How you doing, my man?
I'm good. My name's Harrison Bourdon. We're gonna chat for a little bit if that's cool with you.
Absolutely, let's
Awesome.
do it.
Where are you right now?
In Las Vegas.
A little bit of Bikram golf.
Yeah, you saw that.
Yeah,
Wow,
I saw
good
it.
job.
Yeah.
So he knows that I follow him and that I'm interested in him. And I wanted to sort of set the tone saying, like, I know this guy.
What's up, Canada? For Sportsnet 360, I'm Harrison Bourdon, sitting down for 7 minutes on the phone here with Daniel Negreanu, Mr. Kid Poker himself. What gave you the spark? Where did it start for you?
Well, I mean, I was always a competitive guy. A little too short to play basketball, a little too skinny to play hockey, and a little too tall to be a jockey. So the only real competitive sport that made sense for me was really poker.
I wanted to show him that I love poker almost as much as he does. Because I do. I've played it quite a lot.
What's it like to have this crop of players coming in, and like, how do you stay sharp?
Well, that's actually an interesting question because, you know, the game has changed. A lot of these guys come from the online poker world, so it was about just learning what they know and trying to incorporating that and just staying up to date with the new technology.
That was it. I closed it. I thanked him.
It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I really appreciate it.
I tried not to sound too desperate, like I was starstruck, but I didn't feel like I was.
And I hope we can meet again.
All right, my man. Cheers.
Okay, thank you.
So they bring me in, and I get in there, and I see all the cameramen, and I see Jackie just sitting at the table. I'm like, oh, something's up here. So it is Daniel Negreanu.
No, it's not an imposter, yes.
It is legitimately Daniel Negreanu. Okay. So I'm like, oh my God, what's gonna happen now? Daniel, what's up?
How you doing, my man?
Pretty good. It's so nice to meet you, man. I mean, obviously you're not here right now, but it's great to talk to you over the phone.
And he didn't have notes either. I thought that was interesting. And like confidence to just go with it, sure.
All right, Daniel, even though you're Daniel Negreanu and I'm Anthony Bruno from Woodbridge, Ontario, this might sound weird, but I think we have a pretty special connection. And let me explain. I fired through the first couple of questions, and then I started talking about my mom.
Well, my mama, you know, she's a good old European woman, and she'd say, Daniel, forget about the poker. You go to school. And well, then she saw me making money, and I bought her a house in Vegas, and all of a sudden, her tune changed. Like, no, poker is nice. I like poker.
And he had already mentioned his mom, but I was trying to frame the question differently. And you were talking about your mom earlier. I mean, what did she think about the whole thing?
Well, I basically answered that question already, but I'll answer it again for you.
Right away, I'm like, oh my God, you did it again. Like, what are you doing? I'm thinking in my head, you screwed up, but don't stop. I mean, you're Daniel Negreanu. Give Anthony Bruno a tip. If he walks into a bar, how do I go up and have the confidence to approach the best looking girl in the bar?
Okay, well, one of the keys, obviously, this is fun, okay? So, body language. You know, if she's tilted towards you or against you. If she's tilted against you, she's probably not interested.
Finish the interview and get out on time. And I did. Everything came out well at the end. Man, I gotta go. It was great talking to you, and hopefully I can see you sometime soon.
All right, bud. Take care.
But like, once again, it's that one little mistake that could screw you over in this competition.
What's up, Brett?
How you doing,
Looking
Jackie?
sharp.
Thank you very much.
As you'll notice, Daniel Negreanu is not in the room, so he's not going to see this sharp outfit you've got on.
That was a huge curveball because I thought that I would be sitting beside him, and it was a big surprise not seeing him in the room.
He was rattled by the fact that he wasn't there too.
Awesome. So as I said, I got lots of questions, so I'm going to fire them off. Before I get into the questions, though, I just wanted to let you know that you and I have a lot of things in common. I'm going to start off with our birthdays. I know you're born on July 26th, and I'm born on July 24th. You and I are both born and raised in Toronto, and I know that you used to go to a lot of the casinos in and around the GTA.
Well, actually, I didn't. There weren't casinos when I grew up there. It was charity casinos that were basically done in, you know, restaurants and, you know, like hotels and stuff like that. They didn't really have poker and casinos back then.
Oh, okay. Well, that's really interesting. I want to talk to you about your game, and one of the things that I love about you and so many others is you're a very good-natured player. You know, you're always laughing and joking around and having good conversations with players at the table, but any poker player knows that, you know, that side may not always be shown when you're in the hands, because the best poker players are not winning every hand. So I want to talk to you about bad beats. How do you deal with bad beats, and was there any particular occasion that hand really sticks with you, and how you got moved forward from that?
You mean bad beats in general? Okay, so you started the question one way and now you're going to bad beats. So I'm going to answer that part of it.
Okay.
And right when he said that, I realized I didn't join the two questions properly.
I wanted to ask you, what do you say when people say poker's not a sport, and what do you think about it in that terms?
I don't necessarily think of it as a sport in the physical sense. You know, it's a game, like chess or backgammon or anything like that. But
Daniel,
yeah,
I'm sorry to cut you off. I have to go. I just wanted to tell you that it was an absolute pleasure to speak to you today, and I will never forget this interview.
All right, my man.
How the hell did you cut him off? That's disrespectful.